Yo, we back with another banger, man. We about to get into this Marlo, Lil Marlo to be exact. 4 p.m. We want to know what happened. Let's go to them streets of Atlanta real quick. Let's go, man. Alright, so who is Marlo, right? Rudolph Simmons Johnson. He was born on May 1st, 1990, and he was raised in Bowen Homes. So, a lot of y'all people, if y'all don't know what Bowen Homes is, man, do your research, man. Some of the greats come out of Bowen Homes, man, and they might be local. You may not never heard of these rappers before, man, but some of the greatest people, I'm talking about artists, man, they come out of Bowen Homes. One of Atlanta's most notorious and crime-ridden housing projects. And it was demolished in 2009 after a string of killings, man. They had to go ahead and knock that down. When they closed his hood, he went directly to the 9. So if you don't know what the 9 is, that's Ninth Ward, man. So you might want to do your research about that as well. Alright, so let's get into it, man. So Marlo, or Lil Marlo, who is also known locally as Young Rudy or Rude, many know him as Rude. So he turned to the music pretty late in his life, man, hoping to escape what we call the streets. It's rough out there. We know it, you know it. It puts you in a position where you got a guy like Marlo, man, he got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know what I mean? Because that's all he know. That's what molded him. That's what shaped him. With that being said, in 2017, he signed to Quality Control, the homegrown label that had many stars like Migos, Lil Yachty, City Girls, and also Lil Baby, man. Around that time, you couldn't tell me they were not the hottest artists out. These are two words coming right from PR Thomas, the Quality Control executive. He said at the time, with the two paired, they were like the real Atlanta. Now I know Atlanta is not the same no more. It's a melting pot of different cities, different states, man. So you'll rarely ever meet people that's really from Atlanta that really know how it really is. But these two guys were the definition of real Atlanta. You had so many people faking at the time. The music was not where it was at the time. It made a transition. Also for the young guys to eat out here, man, especially how Lil Baby came out hitting. Now, I know what you may say, oh, Lil Marlo wasn't as popping as Lil Baby, but I feel like he still did leave his mark in the industry as well.
Hey, like I just told you, sometimes you don't choose streets, the streets choose you. I don't regret nothing I ever did in life. If I had the chance, I'd do the same thing. Go. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. Hey, you know, ain't nothing they can think. Like, cause at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to. If I was to go to jail, I'm gonna have to be the one sitting in jail. If I make the money, I'm gonna be the one making the money. You know, my folks ain't really have it like that, so. You know, none they got big houses, cars, like they straight.
So with that being said, man, Lil Baby and Marlo wanted to make it known that the real Atlanta was still present, as the rap era made a turn for the better, not the worse. Marlo went on to release 5 mixtapes with the label, including his debut, To the Harder Way with Lil Baby, followed by The Wire, Ninth Ward God, The Real One, The First and the Third. And those had appearances by Future, Young Thug, and Gucci. And as I mentioned before, man, even though he didn't have a big presence on the Billboard charts, he still brought the A out in a way that many people have not seen in years, man. Him and Lil Baby. So you can't do nothing but respect that, man. Alright, so Mr. Thomas, who has worked to convince his quality control staff that music is the safer path, man. He said in an interview in 2017, all of us come from the same background. I know the lifestyle. I know what it's like trying to get out of the hood, trying not to make the same mistakes. but putting yourself in a position to go back to prison. Marlo called Mr. Thomas a real battery pack in me, an inspiration to try to choose the studio over the streets. Now, if I don't, I want to remind you guys of something, man. You remember when when Young Thug said he used to break Lil Baby off with money to stay off the streets and to stay in the studio, because they know the street life only ends one or two ways, man. And I can respect that. I feel like if there were more OGs out here just really grabbing these young guys up and telling them like, hey man, it's another way you can do this. And a lot of these young dudes, they just don't believe in themselves. If you see somebody, cause man, with me, I can spot talent. You know, I can hear something and I be like, yeah, you got it. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happened with Thug. Thankfully, Baby decided to listen, man, and you got a lot of guys that the streets is all they know, so they go back to what.
Hard as hell, like where I'm saying, street like I'm like Pookie to the street, like that shit like crack to me, goddamn. Like, but I'ma do it. Like I ain't saying I'ma do it. Like me, I just feel like everything got a timing to it. So I ain't gonna force myself to do it. I'm just gonna let it happen. Like when it happen, like on its own, right, that shit be perfect. But if I'm forcing myself to do it, I feel like something will go wrong. You feel me?
So what I believe is Marlo was always 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But he wanted to take the music serious, but he couldn't maneuver out of the streets, man. He also stated in a Dirty Glove Bastard interview that the hardest thing for him to do, to let go of, was the street money. He stated there is a difference between the rap money and the street money, but it's a different type of feeling. I think with the streets being all he knew, even getting money the legit way was not the same for him. And he also mentioned if he could have taken another route, he probably wouldn't have taken another route because the streets is all he know. I feel like Marlo got comfortable and he didn't want change. The only person that could have pulled him out of the streets was himself. You know what I mean? And it's so sad because there's so many young black men out here that feel the same. They feel like failures. You know what I mean? They feel like I can't do better than what I'm doing now. And that's really the sad part. I mean, outside of rap, let's get into that. Outside of rap, man, Marlo had 2 kids. He also wanted to start investing. You know, I don't know if he wanted to substitute that for rap, but like he wanted to start investing as well. So he had the mind frame of wanting to change or wanting to do better, but it seemed like the streets kept pulling him back, man. And it's unfortunate because sometimes when you wait too long, it be too late. Alright, so I wanted to get into these accusations that I've been seeing online. So allegedly, you got a couple of people that are saying that he put a bag on 21 Savage head, but that's all hearsay to me. Some say Baby Drill did it because of his single Try Again, which stated, nigga thought this shit was sweet, shot his ass, asked Daffy. I honestly don't think none of them had anything to do with these killings. I feel like this was some personal street dealings, something that was not on wax for the internet or music. I just feel like it was more personal than anything. So allegedly Marlo was putting bags on different rappers' heads, making it complicated for Lil Baby to have different like relationships in the streets, you know, because these rappers are tied to different quote unquote gangs. I'm not saying they're gangs, but you know, it's documented. YSL, Fam Goon, Slaughter Gang, which even has gang in its name. They're also stating that APD revealed an alleged 50K hit that killed Marlo, which was actually for Lil Baby. And I disagree with all that. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it was intended for Lil Baby. I think it was intended exactly for Marlo. Um, to say that any of those rappers had anything to do with it, I'm not buying it. You know what I mean? Y'all can tell me different, but I'm just not buying that.
So Marlo's brother gets off scot-free of a murder that was gang related. And it makes you start to ask whether or not Marlo's murder was retaliation.
So check this out, man. The reason why I'm not buying that, there was a statement from Jacoby Hudson, a longtime friend in Atlanta's defense lawyer. And then he said in an interview that Marlo had just left a Bankhead block party late Saturday when he was killed. He also stated it was heartbreaking because I told Rudy it would end like this if he didn't change the people he was around. Mr. Hudson said in the phone interview he didn't let the music save him. He still wanted to be in the neighborhood, and he cared about the people and took care of the people in the neighborhood. He loved too many people, and his loyalty is probably what got him killed. Listen to that statement. His loyalty is probably what got him killed. I'm gonna say that one more time. He stated he loved too many people, and his loyalty is probably what got him killed. So with that being said, that lets me know whoever killed him or whoever played a part with him being killed, they were at that block party. Let me paint this picture for y'all real quick. Not just anybody is pulling up the Bankhead. They're not fraternizing with everybody. It's not one of them things where you can pull up to and it's a kickback type of party, man. Cause if you're not from around there, everybody would know. It had to be someone close, someone that didn't alert everybody around them. Do you honestly think they would have had an op or anybody on the outside that they didn't deal with? And he had, different beef going on, if that may be the case. I think it was someone that was close to him that dropped the dime on him at the block party. If you notice, man, the same thing happened with Mo 3 in the female house he went over. It be the closest ones to you that get you off, man. And honestly, I feel like it probably was somebody close to Marlo that played him for some cash, man. Let me put y'all up on game real quick, man. These guys that you running with, they not as loyal as you think they is. And if you do think they loyal like that, let you get into some serious beef. You know what I'm saying? Where they running down on your homeboy mama looking for you. Or they offering a bag to your homeboy to set you up. It happens more than you think. These guys ain't really loyal like that. Y'all be putting too much trust in the people that's closest to you that'll get you touched. Cause they know how you move. They know where you be at. That's my theory. Now, I could be wrong, but with that statement, his loyalty is probably what got him killed. That's what get a lot of people killed, man. It's sad. R.I.P. Marlo, man. R.I.P., man. Alright, so I wanted to touch base. So APD said that the officers had responded to a single vehicle accident on I-285 west of downtown around 11:30 p.m. And they discovered the driver dead with gunshot wounds. The investigators believe the victim was the intended target of the gunfire, and I do too. I don't think this was for a little baby at all. But my message for you guys, man, I just wanted to pretty much shed light on violence, man. Why do we express so much with anger, with violence? I look at Marlo and I see a guy that couldn't transition out of the streets even when he had the opportunity to, because people constantly remind you of who you used to be and what you doing. So if you got money, you always got to come back, because what the hood does, they don't put you up. They don't put you on a higher pedestal, man. They extort you. Let you not come back around for a few months. Then you got guys that's in the hood telling you you can't come back here no more, or you gotta pay up. But in actuality, this is the place where you grew up at. So you fighting in between the two. And I feel like once we understand that the hood is just the hood, it's a place that you start at, but not a place that you want to finish. Not a place that you want to finish, man. Because when it comes down to it, you're doing it for a reason. You don't want to have money and still be in the hood. The whole objective is to get out of the hood. And unfortunately, Marlo didn't do that. Let's think about this. Let's do better for our community, man. R.I.P. Marlo. And everybody else that done lost their life over something senseless in the streets. Like that, this Kato Media. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that. I'm out.